How's it going, everyone? Kokomojo here, back with another weekly Vault video. I am just opening on the Rogue today. I've started to play my Druid a little bit, so hopefully I'll be adding the Druid to the mix here at some point, but for now we're still just playing the Rogue, mostly in M+. I am again going to be opening in sub-loot spec. Our items are actually looking pretty good right now. I think the main thing that I would like to see would be, oh geez, I mean at this point, like all of our items are kind of good. I guess another weapon, a 421 weapon would be really nice. That could replace this crafted weapon for the main hand. We wouldn't have to put any valor into this item. I think that'd be pretty good. I ended up getting this controlled current technique from the weekly quest last week, and so I've been playing this instead of Puzzle Box. Puzzle Box actually sims higher if I press Puzzle Box, but I definitely find myself like not finding good opportunities to press it. So I'm casting it way less often than I really should be. Wouldn't mind another ring as well. Maybe a 421 version of this would be good, but we'll see. I mean, otherwise, all of our items are looking pretty good. So we're really just looking at some minor upgrades now. But let's see what we get. Yeah, here's hoping for a sweet dagger. Okay. Well, 421 gloves, a crit mastery belt, and then a neck. The most useless item in the video game for DPS players is a neck. Okay, well, a little disappointing. It's probably going to be between the gloves and the belt, right? They have the same agi budget, so my guess is that the gloves will be a higher DPS increase, just given that I have 415 gloves now and a 418 belt from a couple of vaults ago. So I'm gonna go ahead and sim this, and we'll see how it turns out. But I'm thinking it's probably gonna end up being gloves. Okay, so the results are in. We have one combo that is a 1000 DPS increase over my current setup for sub at least. This is combo 4. Let's take a quick look. We can go down here and take a quick peek at the items. And yeah, Ruby Contestant gloves. So the gloves are a bigger DPS increase than the belt. This is not terribly surprising given that the gloves that we had were lower item level than the belt that we have. So we're looking at 415 gloves going to 421 versus 418 belt going to 421. They have the same budget of stats, so the gloves went out in terms of overall DPS gain. One thing I realized actually, so first of all, I started a couple of sets of sims. One is just starting, and then the other is still in queue, and then I kicked it off locally as well, and this one ends up being a little bit faster. But one thing I realized was that I should actually go in here and add in convert to catalyst item, and then add both variants. So that's what I did locally here. My guess is that if I take a look at combo 2, let's see what combo 2 ends up being for the items. My hunch is that this will be the catalyzed gloves. Yes. Yeah, interesting. So, okay, so the belt is actually slightly better. And I'm wondering if this is because the belt has mastery, and I'd be getting rid of haste from mastery. That's my guess. The mastery gain for sub is actually pretty big, so I have a feeling that it's because this belt is itemized a little bit better. But overall, it looks like if we keep these gloves, if we go for these gloves, and we don't actually catalyze them, so we keep them as verse mastery, that's going to be better than catalyzing them to be crit haste gloves, at least for sub. So and I think it'd probably be worth running this as Outlaw as well, but since I'm playing mostly sub and keys these days, I think I'm just going to stick with this. My guess is that this will be good for Outlaw as well. So this is what we will go with. If we decide that later on we want to get a flaring cowl, then I'll just catalyze these gloves, and that'll be fine. But what did we get? Okay, so I completed a 21 key this past week, so I get a 21 out of the vault. We get a Noku defensive. Okay, so this is gonna be I think a pretty tough key for my group. I'm pretty excited to try it out though. In terms of the affixes for the week, so bolstering, volcanic, tyrannical. So the good news is that bolstering and volcanic don't really interact with tyrannical bosses in any meaningful way. So I actually think this is going to be a good week for pushing up your tyrannical score. I mean, tyrannical is always pretty tough. Some of the bosses get really tough with tyrannical involved, but as far as tyrannical weeks go, I think this is a fairly good one. So yeah, keep that in mind. In terms of things that we can do to help improve the key, I mean, bolstering, there's often going to be some opportunities for us to do prio on some high HP mob that is going to get giga bolstered if everything else around it dies. So keep that in mind. We can, as sub, we can always be funneling into that mob. There's, those situations should be fairly rare. Like we definitely want to be doing as much overall DPS as we can within, to a certain extent, but there's going to be some mobs that are just really, really healthy and are going to be the longest part of a pull. And so funneling into those mobs can be a pretty good way to speed up the dungeon. It doesn't look good on details, but it looks good for timing keys, and really that's what we care most about. Volcanic is a non-affix for us. We don't care at all. It does not bother us. So yeah, you can just safely ignore that. But yeah, it looks like a pretty good week. So good luck in all of your vaults. Good luck pushing keys this week. I hope you get some good items. I hope you get some good score, and I will see you in the next one.